Donald Trump doesn't seem to be mourning Charlie Kirk, he's exploiting the tragedy. In the days after the shooting, right-wing voices rushed to blame trans people, people of color, and other marginalized groups instead of looking at the shooter's own politics. Now we're seeing another example of that playbook. A misleading leak about the shooter's roommate that raises more questions than answers. We'll unpack that and explain how it fits a larger effort to control the narrative. But first, please hit like and subscribe if you find this reporting useful. It really helps support the channel. Before we dig into the leaked claims and the discrepancies around them, let's look at the real, insidious angle. Don Jr.'s overtly transphobic messaging and how it's being used as part of this broader agenda.
Crime is saying, that men can't be women. And men shouldn't be playing in women's sports. I mean, these are not exactly radical concepts, although when the left realizes that you're losing arguments, they resort to this violence. I see the constant, the violence goes both ways, and it does not, Martha. The violence is going one way. I've had to deal with, 3 shootings like this to people really near and dear to me in the last 14 months, and I'm getting sick of it.
We've learned a little bit about these engravings, and so far, 2 of them are kind of difficult to understand. One has to do with an anti-fascist song in Italy in World War II. The other one says, "Hey, fascist, catch this."
Right now, Trump is desperate for a distraction. And he's not focused on Charlie Kirk's shooting so much as on stoking outrage against trans people. He knows a headline about culture warfare can be reused through the midterms. If he can inflame division and drum up anger or confusion, it helps him consolidate power and shift attention away from accountability. This plays out as a predictable scapegoating. Attacking a community that has harmed no one, while failing to confront the real drivers of violence and instability. Many on the right prefer simplistic takeaway solutions, remove the people, hide the problem, instead of addressing systemic causes. That politics of subtraction doesn't solve anything. It only deepens the harm. Stephen Miller's comments make that agenda obvious. Next, we'll look at how Trump's latest falsehood about the shooter's roommate was exposed, and why their narrative keeps falling apart.
And let me tell you something I'd not share with anybody, but the last message that Charlie Kirk gave to me before he joined his creator in heaven was he said that we have to dismantle and take on the radical left organizations in this country that are fomenting violence. That was the last message that he sent me before that assassin stole him from all of us. And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection, but we are going to do what it takes to dismantle the organizations and the entities that are fomenting riots, that are doxing, that are trying to inspire terrorism, and that are committing acts of wanton violence. It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate, you want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile. Because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom, Sean.
Really, that's convenient. Charlie Kirk's last words were, "Take my death as an opportunity to go after whatever political organization that you want." And it's very important that they said political organization, because Donald Trump can make that whatever he wants it to be. Donald Trump can say anything is overtly political. Donald Trump will say anything that stands in the way of him is political organization. And they said that they were going to be doing RICO charges against left-wing groups. Anyone what? Conspiring to oppose an authoritarian takeover of our country is somehow what? Treasonous. Now, all because of Charlie Kirk, who got himself in this position because he went around the country spewing bile. And now you want me to feel bad. Because a man who said that black women weren't smart enough to get jobs is dead. The man who wouldn't have even condemned his own death, who likely would have laughed at it because that is what he did every time he saw gun violence. He said, "This is worth it." The right denied school shooting after school shooting, saying that victims were crisis actors, and now they want us to feel bad as they try to attack trans people. Absolutely not. But that's what they're doing. They're attacking trans people. And this proves it right here. A White House pool reporter said that Donald Trump told him this morning that the Kirk assassin has a trans girlfriend. That claim that Donald Trump is trying to push, which is completely unsubstantiated and lacks real reporting, was shredded by this Twitter thread right here reading, "Well, there we go." Some clarity from the Daily Mail of all places. Tyler, the alleged assailant, splits a 3-bedroom apartment with roommates. One is a guy who wants to be a pro gaming streamer and may be identifying as trans. That person was cooperative with police, but this roommate, Lance, was also the one who claimed to have Discord messages from Tyler about the shooting. Discord proved he did not. The statement goes on. The messages referenced in recent reporting about planning details do not appear to be on Discord messages. These were communications between the suspect's roommate and a friend after the shooting, where the roommate was recounting the context of a note that the suspect had left elsewhere. A Discord spokesperson tells TMZ, "In the course of our investigation, we identified a Discord account associated with the suspect, but have found no evidence that the suspect planned the incident or promoted violence on Discord. There is no indication on social media for Lance or Tyler that they are in a relationship. In fact, nothing shows them ever interacting." And Lance's profiles, which were still open, show no connection with any profiles of Tyler. There is no confirmation that Lance is trans. Lance's identity was revealed in separate reporting, and the trans component seems to have come from appearance in gamer tags, not any self-declaration. So, at best, Lance maybe had a housemaid who was maybe trans, but has already made multiple statements to law enforcement that do not seem to be accurate. And I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I've certainly had roommates that I disliked, were crazy, and didn't politically align with over the years, so to jump from this reporting by the Daily Mail to he as a trans lover is insane. The right is scrambling right now. They were desperate for this shooter to somehow be tied to the trans community. And the best they've come up with is unfounded speculation about a roommate. No evidence, no confirmation, just rumor. Yet Donald Trump and his allies are floating this as if it explains everything. On day one, MAGA figures were ready to declare war on the basis of pure suggestion. Kash Patel didn't even arrive in Utah for nearly 48 hours, and the FBI itself delayed basic information. But somehow, we're supposed to believe they cracked a sweeping conspiracy after the fact? I don't buy it. And even if, hypothetically, this shooter had a trans roommate or partner, why would that implicate the trans community? That logic doesn't hold up. What it does reveal is a deeper pattern. When tragedy strikes, the far right looks for marginalized groups to blame. We've seen it time and time again. Outward hostility, masking inner contradictions, scapegoating instead of dealing with root causes. That's why the attacks began almost immediately. Threats phoned into HBCUs, harassment targeting Black and trans Americans, even though the shooter was a white student at a white college in one of the whitest states. There's no connection, no cause, just an excuse to unleash hate. And that's the point. This isn't about safety, healing, or truth. It's about weaponizing tragedy to advance an agenda. Donald Trump didn't mourn. He shifted to talking points, and his movement didn't pause. It pivoted to scapegoating. That's not leadership. It's exploitation. We cannot be pressured into playing along with the apology game when they never apologize, never show remorse, and never stop targeting vulnerable communities. This is about distraction, division, and political calculation. And as Representative Jasmine Crockett put it perfectly, it shows exactly who they are and what their priorities really are.
You were one of the first people that I thought about after I saw what happened with Charlie Kirk. I don't want that to happen to anybody. I don't think anybody should be killed because of their opinion or attacked because of their opinion. And you know what happens over there definitely will happen on this side. Yeah. And that definitely makes somebody like you a target.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many people that immediately reached out from all over and was like, what is going on with your security? I had to make sure that I called my mom because I knew that my mom would just want to hear my voice. It really shouldn't be that way. And we now are engaging in conversations again about the safety or lack thereof for elected officials that are in Congress. I mean, I have to raise money to keep myself safe because they will not pay to take care of us, even though the other two branches of government, they pay for their protection. So, you know, hopefully we can engage in some real conversations around what it looks like to get us some real safety. But also we need to engage in like what really does cross the line. We do have free speech in this country, but are you free to say just any and everything? There are limits to all of our constitutional protections, as well as like what kind of standard are we going to hold ourselves to when you are sitting, say, in the Oval Office or, you know, in the House. I hate that some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle immediately came out and they were like, oh, you know, this is on the Democrats. Like, we don't even know who did what.
Who did what?
Obviously, the first thing that, you know, anybody would say, and you didn't have any Democrat that went out there and said otherwise, is like, we're denouncing political violence. But that doesn't mean that that's what it was. The fact that this can't be personal is wild, right? Like the fact that they are presuming that this is somebody that came from our side of the aisle. We know that in
that's
the two,
dangerous. That's very dangerous.
It is dangerous. It is dangerous. And even still, even if
we cannot take this fake outrage seriously, we have to call it out for what it is, and we will not be silenced no matter how loud the threats get. I promise you, I won't back down. If you want to stand with us in that fight, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on this video, and if you made it to the end, leave a blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I will see you soon.